I can see you really.
Yes.
No, go ahead. She's going to record what you're saying so that we can.
The sister, the matriarchy, when she become conscious, because she'll look at it differently than we do. Because even though she's your daughter, she's still your mother. And then that mother protection energy comes out of her. As long as she's not suppressed with dogma belief systems. When nature connects, and she'll look at the same stuff and help guide you in fixing it. Because she'll start looking at you from a mother perspective rather than a daughter perspective. Then that higher mind comes in. It's the balance. That's why you got to make sure that they're conscious. Get the whole point?
Not only that, brother, I don't know if you heard, but Brother Reggie got stopped down the street. I'm the brother that everybody's talking about, that he ran up and asked me questions about charges. I said, those questions you have to refer back to charges. This is after you already spoke to him. You already did a number on him, and he ran up and asked me the same questions he had asked me. So you got to refer back to charges. I'm not one to be a thug. I'm not. I'm learned. I came from Islam, I came from Imam, I came from all the ranks. Now I'm into my nationality. Those are questions from time, but I did saw that. Me and Brother Reggie, all the other ones who wrote it, he said that you handled yourself well, brother. Those questions are for time. He should not be asking you questions that he should be asking time. That's what he was like. So I said, well, I'm going to give it to him. Hopefully we can sit down and we can correct. Because show them that we all. He thinks that someone, oh, you're not in charge? Oh, so he's trying to put me in the box.
What I'm doing today, my second presentation.
Oh, you're not in charge? Yeah.
That was like a primer yesterday.
So what does he mean by amalgamated more? Whoa. This is a question you have to talk. When I get from coming from
with the affiliate marketing
and scientifically, I can break it down that way. You don't have to I said, why? He said, amalgamated is a business term. I said, it means the mix. The mixture. It just means to mix. What do you mean it's business? So I did ready, so I said, now they're going to have a debate with him and Brother Sharif, I believe. But your name just keep, he wants to value if he can't. So he keeps coming up all these younger boys and trying to destroy the nation from underneath. But it's going to happen, and I appreciate that. I'm glad
it's
that we're here
beautiful
today.
because what he's doing is he's exposing himself.
He's creating more conversation.
Destroying his own credibility before the world. But they know he's going to tell.
you know, New York, you're having all of these.
We need like this, let's be real, right? One of the things that I was trying to do before we came here is I was trying to go to a secondhand store or used bookstore, just get an unabridged dictionary and let anybody, people come who don't know anything and let them read it themselves. Now, and notice this too. You'll see a lot of so-called black literature booksellers. And if you'll notice a pattern, they'll have all kinds of books, no dictionaries.
Right. So the trick now is still in effect.
As soon as you go in the dictionary, black means pale.
Right.
Bleach.
No, I mean, you know it and I know it too. But I'm just saying they know that our people can't read. And they know that these COINTELPRO operatives have had control of them for, the last 40 years on these black group type things. And they think it means Afrocentricity. It's the Christian black codes. You understand what I'm saying to you? And it comes from old High German, and it means pale. And all you got to do is take somebody right to a dictionary, let them see it for themselves, arguments over.
Right.
That's why they stay away from the dictionary.
And if you look at white, it comes from witty or to shine or to be bright. Ask the European, show me how you shine. Show me where you shine first, and I explain to you how you're also white.
Now, but this is the whole deal. No, this is the deal. When you're looking at it from a complexion perspective, your concepts are immediately wrong. You got to know the history. This is the history. Horace Greeley, Whiggamore Party. You already know why they call Whiggamores, right? You know that, right? You know that?
Why they call them Whiggamores?
No.
All right. Now, Renaissance. You know about the Renaissance, right? It's when the Moors went into Europe. 13th century. Brought the Europeans out of darkness into light. That's called the medieval period.
The Dark Ages.
Coming to the modern world. All right?
And then the period of Enlightenment.
They're called Renaissance men. Now they're called Masons. mother's sons. That's what masonry is, i.e. Osset or Isis and Horus on her knee, and they reproduce it as Mary and Jesus. That's masonry. That's Ma'at and son study, masonry. It's Islam, science. All right, now, deal. Anyone that's in a position of power authority, know that and get that rule. One of the first rules when you're doing any research, any scholar, is you go to the etymon. The etymon is what is called the matrix, or the womb, its mother, part of speech, 8 parts of speech, 3rd grade grammar, etymon degree. First thing you do is go to what is called the italics, letters and their angle for emphasis. Black's an adjective. Child, 3rd grade, knows that name of person, place, or things are proper nouns. So next to the adjective is square brackets, which is the etymon or etymology. OHG, ME, Middle English, Old High German. Then you put a timeline on it, the math, and it gives you 1150 to 1500s Middle English. Now, all scholars immediately know, before you go any further, that that word does not go any further than 1100s in history. So when a scholar tells you the ancient black gods of Egypt, you already know he's COINTELPRO, he's a liar. That's how scholars check other scholars. Now, they're supposed to teach these people in 3rd grade that rule. This is why they don't give etymology to so-called black children, because they can't damn read. They can pronounce words, can't read. Now, people like professors, some people call themselves professors, know that. When people like us come tell the truth in front of crowds, it kills their credibility, so they start attacking because they know these people don't have a reference point. And they know that they are subject to John D. Rockefeller's General Education Board of 1902. You understand? So these people, they know, are trained like animals to deal only with belief systems. They don't deal with facts, which is a control mechanism. They think it's divine godliness of Allah and Jesusness. They're overseers. These people don't know that. So now this is why they attack scholarship, because they don't want these people to be scholars, because if they're scholars, they'll free themselves not just from the European, also from the overseers who they think are Jesus lovers. So it ain't complexion. Knights of Columbus, Ku Klux Klan oath, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is celebrated by the Mummers Parade. Horace Greeley, New York newspaper tycoon. New York newspaper tycoon.
Master teacher. This is priceless.
Master teacher.
Master astrologer.
Horace Greeley.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Dr. Reggie Mason bring it. Who's you? Why do I have to know this brother?
Now, and then look at this, and then especially with Leah, you know, because basically, when the women know, automatically they're going to protect whatever offspring. That's how you protect the generations. This is why the Christians burn books, to stop that pattern. All scholars know this. So the Professor Larry and all of them know that, because it means wise woman. It's not a negative. You understand? Now, Horace Greeley, New York newspaper tycoon, Whiggamore Party. Now keep this in mind. When any so-called, I'm talking to you as an adult, being Morris American, any scholar, anyone amongst you, and that's us, the you, plural, that sits around and talks about white supremacy, and the deepness of the black melanin and stuff, and don't know Horace Greeley and pretend not to know him. And talking white supremacy at North America is full of shit, because that's the origin.
So it's not white man's brother.
He has more policy. He has more standing policy in North American politics than 90% of the presidents. Even though he ran for presidency against Ulysses Grant and lost, he has more staying power amongst the sociologists and social engineers for North American supremacy systems of the cottonwigs that run these institutions that our people keep calling racist, but they're going to tell you about white supremacy. And you talk about Horace Greeley, and they don't, or pretend they don't know, they don't get into it because they don't want their followers to know the history, because they want to play this black game because they're getting kickbacks for it. That's why I brought it up. So a scholar knows that as soon as somebody starts talking about white supremacy and don't know Horace Greeley, it's two things: COINTELPRO or unqualified. Both of them dismisses them. It's almost like, you know, in real truth, flight is no new thing. However, as far as Europeans at North America are concerned, if somebody tell you, I'm gonna tell you about everything about airplanes in North America, and then she brings up the Wright brothers on Ohio. What's that?
So that's what my art is. Strive to live in that.
You don't talk about airplane flights in North America, and you're a scholar and a professor, and she brings up the Wright brothers in Ohio.
That one is for baby.
It's interesting too how balance, you know,
Everything else though is for the water. You know, it's in a gift for the holiday season.
Bullshit.
That's what I
Get the whole
want my
point.
grandson. 98.
Okay, well,
It's like
one of these.
we having a discussion. Well, see, I know all about pregnancy and the cycles of women and everything and all that stuff. And you say, well, and then you come up and say, what's the general cycle of the moon in relationship to the moon?
It was. Thank you.
I don't know about all that stuff. You know, but then don't start talking about pregnancy. Do you understand? In other words, people are making statements and they get away with people who don't have scholarship. They can't get away with it with scholars. So they attack because it makes them look like asses, which they actually are. Now, if they're going to really have an honest debate, deal with facts. If you really love your people, tell the truth.
Yeah.
And when you're caught in a lie, don't attack, just say, oh, my bad. You know, but instead they try to minimize the facts because all of their background starts to get uncovered along with and they lose credibility. Another thing you know already, and this is with all due respect. Approximately 9 years ago, before we started doing the classes, there's about 15 to 18 different Moorish groups selling packages of information we gave away freely, 25, 3,600. As soon as we started giving people facts and giving them background, they started doing research for themselves. They started disappearing because they couldn't suck on them anymore.
Well, that also opened up the entire world to Moorish consciousness. Everybody wants to know what made it before they.
Exactly. It was just a thing.
Once you did what you did, you kind of opened up.
But it wasn't personal. They asked me to come up, so I came. I wasn't competing with anyone, but I didn't come there to take people's finances. Came there to help liberate our people.
Right.
Since that's what they said that they was doing.
Right.
So now that the people are woke and your club ain't working no more, that means step up your game. Start really liberating them.
Right.
Because liberation or unalienable rights doesn't cost money. That's privilege. Distinguished from liberty and freedom. Because a birthright comes from your mom.
Well, it depends.
You can't buy that. Can't play nigger games either, can you? That's what the problems with them are.
Right. Well, they like to bring the Moors into Al Mansur. He said, no, that's 1100.
And beyond.
1100.
Beyond. Even.
He said the word didn't exist. We didn't use it.
Oh, he's full of
I said,
crap.
I proved that I found it in hieroglyphics.
Not just that.
I mean,
Of course it does. Not just that. But just look at this.
Those are your
People
last two ones?
like him will make that statement. So, as a countermeasure
because what I'm gonna do
to liars like him,
because, you know, I had a limited
Obama
amount that I could
went to
bring in.
Hiccup,
I'm sending the catalog
being a constitutional lawyer,
to everybody.
and exposed that the American Constitution come from Muslim law, telling the real history.
Right.
And so people like Professor Reggie and others, so let him tell Obama that he don't know what he talking about. So what did he do? He had a picture taken to make it clear as day.
Wow. I think I seen that too. I seen that on the internet too.
So let him go talk about that he don't know that we Moors.
Yes.
Even Rahm Emanuel.
Oh no, of course.
And he
You
done
understand?
hid his face to put that.
Hillary Clinton's got a
No, that's throwing what you call do-guard. Because you become the staff. The issue is not the man.
Right.
It's the
Exactly,
national
yeah, that's what I
standard.
was- Okay, yeah.
If he can
You get the point?
I gotta double check with him because I already know.
That's scholarship. That ain't got nothing to do with
Let me call
opinion.
him and I'll text you right back.
Ain't got nothing to do with opinion.
All right.
You see the
Thank
point?
you.
Now, everybody knows that. You understand what I'm saying to you?
What
Now,
was he speaking about when he
what he
did that?
did, what he did. Remember when they came back? They hold on. Let me show you something else. Come on, brother. Come
Yeah,
in
I
for a
said
second.
cuff bracelet.
I got you.
I want to show you something else again. Let me
All right.
share this with everyone because we were talking earlier too. Now, about
Shining like that.
about 10 years ago, I can't remember when it was, when Farrakhan came to Philly, right behind the post office. You remember that? He came to the post office, not the post office, that building on the corner of Walnut, behind the post office. All right, Farrakhan came. So we came there. Me and Abdullah came in there, right? And that's when he did that tape, and they hide that tape a little bit. He talked about Black Shoe. He called Sabato, Negro Sabato, or Black Shoe. He said, our people are really Moors, and they continue the conversation, and they go there no more. You know what I'm saying? He knows too.
Well, he dropped you
No,
the
he
whole time,
knows
but he
that
don't say
all.
directly, but he
Farrakhan
drops.
said
He
Of
drops.
course he said it, because he knows. Listen, Adam,
He
please.
drops hints.
You gotta remember, Nation of Islam is a break off from the Moorish movement.
Right. It's
Yeah.
the same principle.
But people don't get that knowledge until they get past Supreme Wisdom and the problem book. That's amongst the ministers. Because if they tell these people, then they got to tell them all the rest of the history,
Right.
the COINTELPRO
say everything.
operations, the payoff with J. Edgar Hoover and Calvin Coolidge, and that all of them, Adams, had those degrees, and they know damn well these people ain't black, that it makes them non-descendable. In law, do you understand? That there are more set. So now, he done messed them all up because he's the president of the corporation.
Yes.
Now, let them argue with him. They don't need to argue with no Jawali anymore and play like they don't know that Elijah Muhammad has a fez too. That's why they always hide that picture too. Do you understand? Meaning we've been gamed.
Yes.
And you have people in between because it threatens their little nigger organizations that been their so-called income. And so this information not only spoils the Europeans' game, it also spoils their overseers' games.
Right.
That been promoting this black game for a few pieces of coins that ain't even damn silver.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And looking at our children suffer, families fall apart, knowing that these people are not descendable, and tell them they're, well, in Afrocentricity, according to the melanin, there's three